The impossible arrival. Admiral Korthax stood on the command bridge of his warship, the Pride of Zalaria. His 4 arms crossed behind his back. His black scales reflected the blue light from the screens. For 30 years he had served the Zalarian Empire. For 30 years he had never lost a battle. Today would be different. "Admiral! Unknown ship detected at the edge of our system." The young officer's voice shook. His green eyes were wide with fear. "Calm yourself, Lieutenant. Show me the data." Korthax moved to the main screen. Nothing scared him anymore. The Zalarian Empire ruled 500 star systems. They had the biggest fleet in the galaxy. One unknown ship meant nothing. The screen lit up with numbers. Korthax froze. His hearts, all 3 of them, stopped for a moment. This cannot be correct. Check the sensors again." "I checked 3 times, Admiral. The ship is 10 times bigger than our largest warship." 10 times. Impossible. The Pride of Zalaria was 2 kilometers long. It carried 5,000 warriors. This new ship would be 20 kilometers. Nothing that big could move through space. The fuel alone would need a small moon. "Where did it come from?" Korthax asked. "Unknown, sir. It just appeared. No hyperspace signature, no warp trail. One moment empty space, next moment, that." The main screen changed. The bridge fell silent. Every officer, every warrior, every technician stopped breathing. The ship was not just big, it was beautiful and terrible at the same time. Black metal that seemed to eat light, red lines running along its hull like veins of blood. Weapons ports, hundreds of them, each one the size of a small building. At the front, written in simple white letters, "Thunder of Earth." Earth. The word meant nothing to Korthax. No planet with that name existed in the Empire's records. "Admiral, the unknown ship is moving toward us. Speed is..." "Sir, this is impossible too. It's moving at sublight speed but covering distance like it's in hyperspace." Korthax touched his communication panel. "All ships, battle formation Alpha. We have an intruder." 50 Zalarian warships moved into position. They formed a wall of metal and weapons. Each ship carried enough firepower to crack a moon. Together they could destroy a planet. The Terran ship kept coming. Slow, steady, unafraid. "They're not responding to our messages, Admiral." "Then we speak with weapons. All ships target the unknown vessel. Show them the power of the Zalarian Empire." But something was wrong. The space around the Terran ship looked bent, like reality itself was twisted. Small asteroids near the ship were pulled toward it, then pushed away. The gravitational readings made no sense. "Admiral, I'm detecting life signs on their ship." "How many?" The officer checked again. His face turned pale, his green skin becoming almost white. 5 million, sir. 5 million souls on one ship. The entire Zalarian battle fleet carried only 100,000. "They're colonizing," whispered someone behind Korthax. "They brought a whole city with them." No, not colonizers. Korthax had seen colony ships. They ran from fights. This ship was flying straight at 50 warships. This was something else. "Sir, they're sending a message." "Put it through." The voice that came through was young, female, speaking perfect Zalarian but with a strange accent. "Zalarian fleet, this is Commander Sarah Chen of the Terran battleship Thunder of Earth. You have one chance. Leave this system now. We have business with your empire. You do not want to be here when that business concludes." Korthax laughed. One ship threatening the empire? This human, if that's what she was, had courage but no brain. "This is Admiral Korthax of the Zalarian Empire. You will surrender immediately or be destroyed. You have 10 seconds to..." "Admiral," Chen's voice interrupted, calm, almost sad. "Your empire has enslaved 200 species, destroyed 70 peaceful worlds, killed billions of innocent beings. Your 10 seconds mean nothing to us. We have waited 50 years for this moment. But I will give you one kindness. You may fire first, one free shot. Make it count." The communication ended. Korthax roared, "All ships, open fire! Destroy them!" 50 warships fired at once, plasma beams, quantum torpedoes, antimatter bombs, enough firepower to shatter a small moon. The space between the fleets turned white with energy. The weapons hit the Terran ship. Nothing happened. The energy just disappeared, absorbed like water into sand. The thunder of Earth didn't even slow down. A new message appeared on every screen in the Zalarian fleet. 4 words that changed everything. Our turn. Goodbye, Admiral. The Terran ship began to glow. Part 2. The First Strike. The glow from the Terran ship suddenly died. Complete darkness. Every screen in the Zalarian fleet went black. Admiral Korthax felt his heart racing. What happened? Get our systems back online. Then small lights appeared, not from the Terran ship, from everywhere. Admiral, those aren't lights, they're drones, thousands of them. The drones were tiny, no bigger than a Zalarian fighter craft. They moved like a swarm of metal insects, spreading out from the thunder of Earth. But they didn't attack, they just danced, spinning around each Zalarian ship in perfect formation. They're not firing, sir, they're just circling us. Suddenly, Lieutenant Vornak screamed, Admiral, the Bloodhammer is turning its weapons on the Star Crusher. What? That's impossible. But on the screen, Korthax watched his own ships beginning to fight each other. The Bloodhammer fired its main cannon. The Star Crusher exploded in purple fire. 3,000 Zalarian warriors dead in 1 second. Sir, I can't control our weapons. The weapons officer pulled at his controls. They're moving by themselves. More ships began firing on each other, but not randomly. Korthax noticed a pattern. The ships were targeting specific vessels, the prison ships, the slave transporters, the execution barges. Someone was choosing targets based on their purpose. The drones, Korthax whispered. They're not weapons. They're hackers. They're taking control of our own fleet. A new voice filled the bridge, not from the communication system, from everywhere, like the air itself was speaking. Hello again, Admiral. Commander Chen's face appeared on the main screen. She was younger than Korthax expected, maybe 30 Earth years, black hair tied back, brown eyes that looked tired but determined. She wore a simple gray uniform, no medals, no decorations, just a small pin showing Earth, a blue and green sphere. You're wondering how, Chen said. Your cyber defense is actually quite good, for technology you stole. Korthax's blood went cold. What are you talking about? Oh, Admiral, did you think we came here blind? We know everything. Your entire empire is built on stolen technology. The quantum gates you use for travel, you stole them from the Ashanti people after you burned their homeworld. Your shield generators, taken from the Korvax colony after you enslaved their children. Your weapons, ripped from the dead hands of the Eternal Guard of Proxima. Each word hit like a physical blow. These were the Empire's most guarded secrets. Chen continued. But here's the beautiful part, Admiral. When you steal technology, you never truly understand it. You just use it. We, however, learned from the survivors. The Ashanti refugees on our moon colonies. The escaped Korvax slaves who found their way to Mars. The last Proxima guard who died in my grandmother's arms. Pakas sing on their knowledge with their final breath. The screen split into multiple views. Each showed a different part of the Zalarian fleet. Ships frozen in space. Weapons powered down. Crew members standing at their stations, unable to move their own vessels. We call it the Liberation Protocol, Chen explained. Every piece of stolen technology in your fleet now answers to us, which means, she paused, your entire fleet now belongs to the people you conquered. Behind Chen, shadows moved. Figures stepped into view. Korthax gasped. Ashanti, Korvax, Proxima guards, dozens of species the Empire had conquered, all wearing Terran uniforms, all standing as equals. You're wondering about Earth, Chen said. Why you've never heard of us. It's simple, Admiral. Earth is what happens when 200 refugee species find one small, stubborn planet that says, you're safe here, your family now. Earth isn't just a human world anymore. It's everyone's world. Everyone you hurt. Everyone you broke. They found us, and we gave them something your empire never could." "What?" Korthax asked, though he feared the answer. "Hope. And worse for you. We gave them time to get angry. 50 years of anger, Admiral. 50 years of planning. 50 years of every refugee, every escaped slave, every orphan you created, working together for this moment." The drone suddenly pulled back from the Zalarian ships, but the damage was done. Half the fleet was destroyed by their own weapons. "Now, Admiral, let me show you something special." Chen stepped aside. Behind her stood a figure Korthax recognized. His breath caught in his throat. Supreme Executor Thanos, the Empire's greatest warrior, the hero of 1,000 battles. He'd been declared dead 10 years ago, killed fighting rebels in the outer rings. But there he stood, alive, wearing a Terran uniform. Thanos spoke. His voice was different now, softer. "Hello, old friend. I've been waiting to set your face when you learned the truth. I didn't die fighting rebels, Korthax. I joined them. I've been on Earth for 10 years helping them understand our weaknesses, our lies, our crimes. You betrayed the Empire." "No," Thanos said. "I stopped betraying my conscience. The humans showed me something I'd forgotten. What honor really means. What protecting people really means. Not conquering them, saving them." Chen returned to the screen. "Admiral, in exactly 60 seconds, 100 Terran battleships will exit hyperspace around your homeworld. Not to destroy it, to free it. Every slave camp will be opened. Every prison world will be liberated. Every species you've crushed will be given back their freedom. The Empire will fight. We have millions of warriors." "Yes," Chen agreed. "But do you have millions of warriors who will fight when they learn the truth? When they see their own supreme executor standing with us? When they realize their entire history is built on lies and theft?" She leaned forward. "But here's my gift to you, Admiral. I'm going to let you run. Take your flagship. Run back to your Emperor. Tell him the humans are coming. Tell him Earth remembers every scream, every cry for help that echoed through the cosmos." And we answered. The drones suddenly vanished. The surviving Zalarian ships found their systems restored. "You have 30 seconds to leave, Admiral. After that, I stop being merciful." Korthax looked at his crew. They were all staring at him, waiting for orders. But what orders could he give? Fight an enemy that turned their own weapons against them? Face an alliance of every species they'd wronged? "Sir," Lieutenant Vornak whispered, "your daughter sent a message from the homeworld. It just says, 'The underground is ready. We've been waiting for Earth.'" His own daughter, a traitor, or perhaps a patriot for a better cause. 20 seconds, Admiral." Korthax closed all 3 eyes. The Empire was already dead. It just didn't know it yet. "All surviving ships," he commanded. "Full retreat. We must warn the homeworld." As the Zalarian fleet jumped to hyperspace, Chen's final words followed them. "Run fast, Admiral. We're right behind you. And we're bringing everyone you ever hurt with us." The thunder of Earth began to glow again. But this time it wasn't a weapon charging. It was a signal. Across the galaxy, on 1,000 conquered worlds, billions of slaves looked up at the sky as the same message appeared in every language. Earth is coming. Freedom is coming. Today, the Empire dies. The Empire's secret. Admiral Korthax's flagship dropped out of hyperspace above Zalaria Prime. What he saw made his scales turn white. The planet was in chaos, cities burning, not from attack, from rebellion. The slave sectors had risen, but that was impossible. The control collars should have killed them at the first sign of resistance. "Admiral," Lieutenant Vornak's voice cracked, "the control collars. They're all offline, every single one, on every Empire world, at the exact same moment." Korthax ran to the scanner. 12 billion slaves across the Empire, suddenly free, all at once. The timing was too perfect. This was planned for years, decades. Incoming transmission from the palace, sir. Emperor Nazarak appeared on screen. The ancient Zalarian looked different, afraid. His golden scales had lost their shine. His 6 eyes darted nervously. Korthax, where is my fleet? Destroyed, my emperor. The humans. They have technology we don't understand. Impossible. Our technology came from the... The emperor stopped. His eyes widened in horror, realizing he'd almost revealed the Empire's darkest secret. But another voice finished his sentence. From the Vault of the Forgotten. Everyone turned. Standing on Korthax's bridge was a figure that shouldn't exist. Couldn't exist. A being made of pure light, shaped like a Zalarian but taller, more elegant. Its voice was music and thunder combined. I am Chitek Zin, the last of my kind, and I've come to collect what your empire stole from us. The Emperor's image flickered. The architects are extinct. We found only ruins. No, Zin said. You found what we left behind when we ascended to energy form. We watched from the quantum realm as you broke into our vaults, stole our tools, used them to enslave others. We were disgusted, but we were also dying, unable to maintain physical form, until... The being's light pulsed. Until the humans found us. Not our technology, us. They detected our quantum signatures, and instead of trying to use us, they asked a simple question. How can we help? Korthax felt his legs weaken. The humans saved you. They gave us something we'd lost. Purpose. They built quantum chambers to house our consciousness, gave us new form, and in return, we gave them everything. Our true technology. Not the scraps you stole, but the real power. The ability to rewrite reality itself. The main screen activated. Commander Chen appeared, but behind her stood dozens of light beings. All architects. Hello again, Admiral, Chen said. Ready for the real truth about your empire? She gestured and the screen showed historical footage. But not Zalarian history. Older, much older. 1,000 years ago, Chen narrated, the Zalarian species was nothing. A primitive world with stone tools and fire. Then one day, a Zalarian farmer named Korvek fell into a cave. Inside, he found the Vault of the Forgotten. Weapons, ships, technology beyond imagination. The footage showed Korvek emerging from the cave, carrying weapons of light. But Korvek was clever and cruel. He didn't tell others about the vault. He claimed he was blessed by gods, chosen. He used the weapons to conquer his world, then the stars. His descendants became your emperors. Chen's eyes hardened. Every emperor since has known the truth. Your entire civilization is built on a lie. You're not superior. You're not chosen. You're thieves who got lucky. Emperor Nazarak's image roared. Lies! We earned our empire! Did you? Another figure stepped beside Chen. Korthax gasped. It was his daughter, Kira, but she looked different. Her scales had patterns he'd never seen before, ancient patterns. Hello, Father, Kira said. Did you never wonder why some Zalarians are born different? Why the Empire kills defective children at birth? She touched her scales, and they shifted, revealing geometric patterns that matched the architect's energy forms. We're not pure Zalarian, Father. 1 in every 1,000 of us carries architect DNA. The first emperor, Korvek, didn't just find the vault. He found a dying architect. He tortured it, experimented on it, mixed its genetic material with his own to better use the technology. Korthax staggered. His daughter was part architect. The Empire had been killing its own hybrid children for centuries, calling them mutations. I found out 10 years ago, Kira continued. The underground isn't just rebels, Father. It's all of us. The hybrids, the ones who escaped the termination squads. We've been preparing. And Earth found us, gave us sanctuary, trained us. We're not slaves to the technology like pure Zalarians. We can truly command it. The Emperor's image flickered wildly. Activate the Doomsday Protocol. Destroy Earth. Oh, you mean this? Chen held up a small device. The Quantum Devastator, the Empire's ultimate weapon. It could erase a star system from existence. How did you... Your daughter, Chen said simply. She brought it to us 3 years ago, along with the locations of all 12 backup devices. They're all gone, Emperor. Your final solution has been solved. Suddenly, space around Zolaria Prime rippled. Not 1, not 12, but 100 Terran battleships emerged. Each one accompanied by ships Korthax didn't recognize. Ashanti vessels, Korvax dreadnoughts, Proxima Guard carriers. Every conquered species had sent their secret fleets. But then something else appeared. Something that made even the massive battleships look small. A structure, a ring of pure energy, large enough to encircle a moon. It pulsed with the same light as the architects. Xin spoke again. The reality engine, our greatest creation, the one thing we never left in the vaults. With it, we can undo what was done, return stolen worlds to their original state, resurrect dead ecosystems. Even the being paused, its light flickering with something like compassion. Even give the Zolarian people a choice. Continue as slaves to stolen power, or evolve into something worthy of the technology they've used. Never! The Emperor cut the transmission. From the planet's surface, weapons powered up, planetary defense cannons that could crack moons aimed at the Allied fleet. Chen sighed. I hoped he would choose wisely. She looked at Korthax. Admiral, you have one chance. Your daughter tells me you're not like the others. That deep down you know the Empire is wrong. Help us end this without destroying your world. Korthax looked at the screen showing his burning planet, the uprising slaves, his hybrid daughter, the truth of his entire civilization laid bare. What do you need? He asked. Chen smiled, the first real smile he'd seen from her. The Emperor's bunker, its location. We can end this with one strike. No more Zolarian deaths. Your people can be free too. Free to be slaves to you? No, Architect Xin answered. Free to become what you should have been. Partners, equals, part of something greater than conquest. The choice Korvek never gave you. Korthax thought of his daughter, of the Highs, brid children murdered for being different, of the billions enslaved in the Empire's name. He touched his command console and sent coordinates. The bunker is beneath the Crystal Mountains, but Admiral, the Emperor isn't there. Chen frowned. Where is he? He's gone to the Vault of the Forgotten. He plans to activate something called the Creator Protocol. I don't know what it is, but he said it would reset the galaxy to zero. Every architect's light suddenly flared in alarm. Xin's voice was pure fear. No, he can't. That protocol doesn't reset the galaxy. It destroys it. Everything, every star, every world, every life. It's our greatest shame, a weapon we built in our darkest hour and hid away. Chen stood up straight. All ships, new priority. Stop the Emperor at any cost. She looked at Korthax. Admiral, you know the Vault's defenses. Will you help us? Korthax thought of his empire, built on lies, sustained by slavery, about to commit the ultimate genocide. My entire fleet is gone, but I have something better. He turned to his communication officer. Send this message to every Zolarian ship captain in the Empire. Tell them the truth, all of it, and tell them Admiral Korthax says, today we choose honor. Across the Empire, Zolarian ships received the message, the truth about their history, about the hybrids, about the Emperor's plan to destroy everything rather than lose power. And one by one, they began to turn. Not all, but enough. The Emperor would reach the vault in 1 hour. The race to save the galaxy had begun. But in the depths of the vault, something stirred, something the architects had feared to mention. The Creator Protocol wasn't just a weapon, it was a prison. And inside that prison was the real reason the architects had abandoned physical form. The first mistake, the thing they had created before they understood the cost of absolute power. It had been sleeping for 1,000,000 years. The Emperor was about to wake it up, the Shattery. The Vault of the Forgotten wasn't on any star map. It existed between dimensions, hidden in a pocket of folded space. Emperor Nazarak's personal ship, the Golden Fist, slipped through the quantum barrier alone. Behind him, the greatest fleet battle in galactic history raged. Zalarian ships fought Zalarian ships, brothers killing brothers, the Empire tearing itself apart. But Nazarak didn't care. Let them all burn. If he couldn't rule the galaxy, no one would. The vault appeared before him, a structure that hurt to perceive. It shifted between existing and not existing, solid and gas, past and future. The stolen technology of the Empire had come from just the entrance hall. Nazarak was going deeper, to the core, to the Creator Protocol. On the thunder of Earth, Commander Chen watched the Emperor's ship disappear into the vault. "We're too late," she said. "No." Architect Zin's light form flickered with determination. "There is one way, but the cost, tell me." "Someone must enter the quantum realm physically, become living energy, chase him through dimensions, but the transformation is one way. Whoever goes will never be human again." Chen started to speak, but another voice interrupted. "I'll go." Everyone turned. Admiral Korthax stood at the bridge entrance, but he wasn't alone. Beside him stood his daughter Kira and 100 other Zalarian hybrids. "We're already part architect," Kira said. "We can survive the transformation. Some of us, at least." Chen shook her head. "I can't ask you to." "You're not asking. We're volunteering." Kira touched her father's arm. "The Empire took everything from us, killed us for being different. This is our chance to save everyone, including our own people." Korthax looked at his daughter with pride and sorrow. "I spent my life serving a lie. Let me die serving truth." Architect Zin moved forward. "The process is painful beyond description. You will feel every atom of your body converting to energy. Many will not survive." "We know," the hybrids said in unison. Meanwhile, Emperor Nazarak reached the vault's core. The chamber was vast, filled with machines that predated stars. At the center, a simple pedestal held a black cube, the Creator Protocol. But standing beside it was someone impossible. Himself, another Nazarak, but older, scarred, missing 2 eyes. "Hello, younger me," the other Nazarak said. "I've been waiting so long for this moment." "What trick is this?" "No trick. I'm you from a different timeline, one where you activated the protocol." The scarred Nazarak laughed bitterly. "Do you know what happened? It worked. Everything died. Every star went dark. Every world turned to ash, and I ruled over nothing but darkness for 1,000,000 years. Alone, immortal, mad." "You're lying." "The protocol doesn't just destroy, fool. It makes the activator eternal, forced to watch the dead universe forever. The architects created it as the ultimate punishment, destroy everything, and be cursed to remember it alone." The younger Nazarak hesitated. Then his eyes hardened. "Better to rule over ashes than to lose." He reached for the cube. His scarred self smiled. "I knew you'd say that. I remember saying that. Which is why I'm really here." The older Nazarak dissolved into shadow and rejoined his younger self, not attacking, merging. "What are you doing?" "Giving you what you want. All my memories. 1,000,000 years of ruling nothing. Feel it. Feel every second of eternal loneliness." The memories hit like a tsunami. Nazarak screamed as he experienced eons of solitude, watching stars die, counting atoms as they decayed, going mad, and recovering over and over with no escape. He fell to his knees, weeping. The cube rolled away from his hand. At that moment, space itself cracked open. 100 points of light burst through. The Zalarian hybrids transformed into beings of pure energy. They screamed as they materialized, half of them dissipating instantly. But 50 survived, including Kira. Korthax didn't. His energy form held for 3 seconds, just long enough to look at his daughter one last time. Then he scattered into quantum foam. "Father!" Kira's scream shook the vault. But there was no time to mourn. The Emperor, driven mad by his future self's memories, grabbed the cube again. "If I'm doomed anyway, let it all burn." He began the activation sequence. The cube started to unfold, revealing impossible geometries. Reality began to unravel at its edges. Commander Chen's voice echoed through dimensions. "Kira, the architects say you need to sing." "Sing?" "The vault responds to architect genetic markers. Your hybrid DNA. Use it. The same frequency that controls the stolen technology." Kira understood. The hybrids began to sing, not with voices, but with their very energy signatures. A harmony that hadn't been heard since the architects walked in physical form. The vault responded. Walls shifted. Machines awakened. And from the deepest core, something else stirred. The first mistake. It rose from the quantum foam, a being of pure entropy. Not evil, not good, just ending. The thing the architects created when they tried to build a god. It had no name because names implied existence, and it was the opposite of existence. The Emperor laughed madly. "Yes, rise, destroy everything." The first mistake looked at him with eyes that were holes in reality. Then it spoke with a voice that was silence. "No." Everyone froze. "You woke me to destroy, but I have been dreaming. In my dreams, I saw something. Impossible. Life that chooses death to save others. Zalarians who reject their empire. Humans who unite enemies. Love stronger than hate." It turned to Kira and the hybrids. "You are singing my creator's song, but you are not my creators. You are something new, something better. Please," Kira begged, "don't destroy everything. I was born to unmake. It is my nature." The first mistake paused. "But perhaps I can unmake selectively." It reached out and touched the creator protocol. The cube didn't disappear. It never existed. The timeline rewrote itself. The architects never created it. The ultimate weapon was unmade from history. Then it turned to the Emperor. "You wanted to rule forever." "No, please. I give you what you sought. Rule over your empire. Forever." The first mistake touched Nazarak. The Emperor didn't die. He became frozen in time, aware but unable to move, speak, or die. A living statue, conscious for eternity. The being then looked at the transformed hybrids. "You sacrificed flesh for energy. I can unmake that choice, return you to physical form. But what?" Kira asked. "You will be neither Zalarian nor architect. Something new. You choose." Kira thought of her father, scattered into quantum foam, of the billions freed from slavery, of the choice between past and future. "Make us bridges," she said, "between what was and what could be. Let us be living proof that enemies can become family." The first mistake smiled, a sight that unmade 13 nearby asteroids. "Wisdom in the young, how refreshing." It waved its hand. The hybrids screamed as they reformed, not as Zalarians, not as architects, but as something in between. Physical but luminous, mortal but enhanced, beautiful and strange. Then the first mistake turned to look directly at Commander Chen through dimensions. "Human, you united the broken, gave hope to the hopeless. But your species carries a weight. The only race that evolved naturally to both create and destroy equally. You will face a choice soon. Remember to." His moment. Remember that even entropy can choose differently. "What choice?" Chen asked, but the first mistake was already fading. "I unmake myself now. Existence is too loud for one born from silence. But first..." It gestured, and across the galaxy, every slave collar ever made crumbled to dust. Every prison camp door opened. Every chain broke. Not just physical chains, but mental ones. The conditioning, the fear, the learned helplessness, all unmade. My gift to the galaxy, true freedom, use it wisely. The first mistake dissolved into possibility, unmaking itself from reality. It had existed for less than 5 minutes, but changed everything. The vault began to collapse. Kira and the surviving hybrids grabbed the frozen Emperor and fled through dimensions. Behind them, the source of the Empire's power imploded into nothing. They emerged above Zalaria Prime to a sight that took their breath away. The fighting had stopped. Ships from 100 species floated side by side. Former slaves stood with former masters. The reality engine had activated, not as a weapon, but as a healing tool, restoring dead worlds to life. Commander Chen's image appeared on every screen in the galaxy. The Zalarian Empire is dead, but the Zalarian people are not our enemies. They were prisoners too, prisoners of their own lies. Today, everyone is free to choose. Join the Galactic Alliance as equals, or go your own way in peace. But know this, Earth will be watching. We answered the call of the oppressed once. We will answer it again if needed. Kira, now something beyond Zalarian, stood on her father's ship. She looked at the stars, not as an empire's domain, but as a community of worlds. "What happens now?" Lieutenant Vornak asked her. "Now we learn to be something other than conquerors. It will be hard. Many won't forgive us. But we start by acknowledging truth, teaching real history. Makita, ng amends." She turned to Chen's image. "Earth gave everyone freedom, but freedom is terrifying when you've never had it. Will you help us learn?" Chen smiled. "That's what Earth does best. We're all refugees from something, even those who were born free. Welcome to the hard work of choice, Kira." The Terran fleet began to disperse, not leaving but spreading out. Teachers, not conquerors. Healers, not destroyers. In the Imperial Palace, now a museum, the frozen Emperor stood in the throne room. Aware, watching. A reminder of what happens when power becomes more important than people. Children would come to see him, Zalarian, human, Ashanti, Korvax, hundreds of species. They would ask their parents, "Why doesn't he move?" And the parents would say, "Because he chose to rule over ashes rather than serve life. Don't be like him." The shattering was complete, not just of an empire, but of the idea that strength meant domination. In the void where the vault once existed, something flickered. A message, written in quantum probability, visible only to those who knew how to look. The first mistake unmade itself, but the second success is still to come. When the humans face their choice, remember, even entropy chose love. The galaxy was free, but Earth's real test was just beginning. Because somewhere in the dark between galaxies, something had been watching, something older than the architects. It had seen Earth unite the impossible, and it was curious what else these humans could do. The Zalarian Empire had shattered, but the story of Earth had just begun.